the endless abyss of Janus's mindscape, our fugitive stands before an old friend of his, now turned pursuer. In his dark, disheveled cloak, he stares at the uniformed woman, a thin smile on his face.
It certainly feels like it has been a long while, doesn't it, Marie?
With a small nod, the woman stares at Janus seriously, judging him as he judges himself. But then...
You know, I could get exiled just for speaking to you. I'd end up the same as you.
If the Krakora find out we have made contact and demand a report, you can always say that I summoned you here against your will. It is more or less true.
More or less. In a strange way, it is good to see that you are alive and alright.
Why does it have to be strange?
Take a wild guess.
You are the one seeking me.
Leading the team seeking you, yes.
Ah. Then I should not be too surprised. It is logical after all.
Logical. Huh. You speak as if you are not accused of 2 murders, as if you did not admit guilt in running away.
I did not want to run, Marie. I would have been executed if I didn't. Now I am only pursued.
Executed? That is not our way. When the Krakora find you, and I promise, Jaru, we will find you. We will bring you to justice. I doubt you will ever be a free man again, but you will not be executed.
I am not certain of that. At least, I am sure many at home wish death upon me, in spite of our laws.
That's true. True enough. People whisper about what you worked on with San Dracamelone for the last year. They think whatever you made with him, you took for yourself.
I do not know who started these lies, but they are lies all the same.
Yet you carry a satchel that surely has whatever you stole inside it, whatever you killed for.
Do you truly think I would murder to take this? Is that really what you believe, Marie, or simply what you have been told? Yes, I carry this device with me, and yes, I took it from the Scion after his death, but I promise you I did not kill either Scion Dracamelone or Master Clay for this.
Oh? Then who killed them, Jaru? Fate? Chance? I have not mentioned the culprit yet, I am certain. Then who?
I am bound by our laws, by respect, not to say.
I knew it. So your suspicions about the Scion were right.
I still do not know everything about what he was planning, but enough.
Enough. You are not here to make accusations. There's something more. I can see it in your eyes. Tell me.
I wanted to apologize, Marie. I have had a revelation. I am sorry. Not just for what happened with the Scion and Master Clay. No. I am sorry for refusing your offer to join the Krakora in favor of the path that I chose.
Why wouldn't you be sorry, Jaru? Look how far you've fallen since. I only wanted you to be safe.
I know. And if you took my refusal as a rejection of our friendship, it was not meant as such. Even if I cannot fault you for taking it that way, you and the others have been the best family to me that I could have asked for. If I have hurt you by deserting you so suddenly, then I ask for your forgiveness.
And all you did, all you sacrificed, you really believe this was the best thing to do? Think about this, Jaru. Think about what you...
I have, and I do. I am sorry, but I had to do what I did.
Then I think I understand. I forgive you, Jaru, but the others may not. Things have gotten so complicated so quickly. Not that I regret what has happened in my life since you left, but things are emptier here without you.
On the contrary, I'm sure things are livelier by far. Their Krakora, no doubt, will be vigilant. They will relish their work with the criminal loose. The masters will be hard at work designing things to find me, so innovation has been sparked. The creators will have a message to speak of. They'll show the virtues of being, well, not me. Things must certainly be better with an enemy. To fight, to find, to, in short, hate. Am I wrong?
No, you are right. But I miss you. We all do, in our own way. Is there really no chance you will come quietly? Perhaps you can clear up what has happened, shed some light on this tragedy.
The Scions will never allow it. You said so yourself. I would never be a free man again. I'm an arch criminal, denouncing a dead man. My words would never reach the people, and even if they did, they would never be believed. I gain nothing. Our people gain nothing by surrender.
Then, if you intend to keep running, I shouldn't be telling you this, but we are closing in on you. You had better get a move on.
Thank you, Marie. My congratulations, by the way, on your promotion to lieutenant. The totem and the uniform. It looks good on you.
Thank you. They tell me that if I can catch you, I'll become a captain. So, you'd better watch out.
Oh, please. You've never been able to catch me, not since we were children.
There's a first time for everything. You know, I do not envy you having to run for the rest of your life.
Maybe you should.
Huh. How so?
These humans are so different, unpredictable, so unlike our people.
Of course. For the worse, I assume.
Not so. They're far better than we give them credit for. Some of them welcomed me into their home. It's quite fascinating. They had no obligation to me, yet they invited me in all the same.
Now, why would they do such a thing?
I could not say, Marie. If things ever get better, or if things ever get worse, I shall have to tell you of these people. The son with a creative mind beyond his years, the daughter with a pride befitting hers, the charitable mother and the irascible father. I have much to thank them for, and if you and your Krakora team are nearby, please do the humans no harm. It would be wrong of them to suffer on my behalf.
Noted. You really want to stay out there.
I can do more good out here. Bring a little more light into this strange new world than I ever could have back home.
Enjoy it while you can, Jaru. Cannot run forever.
No. Maybe not, but I'll do my best. And if you are willing, I ask you to do the same.
What exactly are you suggesting I do?
I still do not have the whole picture about what happened. I know Scion Drakemilone had nefarious intentions, perhaps others as well, but I cannot prove them. You have helped me realize the truth many times in the past, Marie. Now, there is a greater truth out there, some terrible conspiracy that nearly transpired. I cannot uncover it from out here in the human world. Perhaps you can.
I can promise nothing, but I will ask around. Perhaps I can find something.
That is all I ask. Farewell then, Marie. Until we have need of one another again.
He brings the second and fourth fingers together, lowers the rest, places his hand on his heart, and bows. Marie repeats the same gesture.
until we have need of one another again, Jeru.
And dissolves in an unseen wind. Janus watches her vanish before looking around for his master. Yet he finds himself totally alone, and after a moment of confusion, he smiles.
Farewell to you too, Master, wherever you are.
He kneels down in the now shrinking, darkening mindscape, and whispers an incantation in his native language.
Utelene ilaria arai, weheal arai.
He feels a little cold as a cool, gentle breeze blows over him. Then sunlight strikes his face as he opens his eyes to find himself back in the park where he had started. The flames around him are only flickering embers now.
That hill up there. It seems deserted and relatively high up. I will need to visit that place as soon as I can, but it grows a bit late. I should return to the Constantines, to safety. My work will be done here soon. Hopefully then I need not continue to burden them.
Janus makes his way back through the dimming streets, with his hood up. Keeping a watchful guard on his satchel at all times, Janus wanders back through the streets, his gaze low so as not to be noticed. He occasionally spots a few flowers, here and there, and picks out the ones that he liked, stuffing them in his pockets for later use. As the sun dips just past a distant hill, he arrives back at the Constantine residence, well lit from within. Janus steps onto the porch and knocks on the door, as his acute hearing cues him to a scramble from inside the house. Finally, the door creaks open at Ben Constantine's hand.
Mr. Janus, where have you been?
Like I told you before, I had a mistake I had to correct. Thankfully, all is well now.
Here, Mr. Janus, take this figure. You wanna play?
In a moment. Where is your father? And your sister?
Oh, Kara's doing something in her room. And Dad...
Brian's been working all day. He wants to be left alone right now.
All day?
Apparently he's got something very important due tomorrow, and he can't stop. Not even for 1 second. This isn't right, but none of us want to disturb him.
I'll see what I can do in a moment. I am sorry, but would you mind if I borrow this cup? I shall need it to keep these flowers for a moment or two.
Oh, of course. I don't think that's how you do it, though. Not if you want to keep those flowers alive.
I never said I wanted them alive. In any case, please keep these here. I will need them soon.
Alright.
What are those flowers for, Mr. Janus? More figures?
Oh yes! Thank you for making these for Ben. He hasn't had some new ones in a while, and it was very kind of you to do that for him.
It was my pleasure making them. I hope they inspire you, Ben. And to answer your question, the flowers are for another purpose. You will see in time.
Janus heads up the stairs and silently steps into Mr. Constantine's room. Mr. Constantine is typing furiously, punching his keys before button mashing at a video game controller.
Mind if I help, Mr. Constantine?
You?
Enraged, Mr. Constantine leaps back in his seat, hurling his controller right at Janus. But though the controller seems headed straight for Janus's face, the stranger throws up his hand and points a finger at the projectile, which seems to flicker with purple light momentarily. Then, the controller flies harmlessly into the wall.
Get out!
You make... I believe your wife called it a video game. You are testing it right now.
You were supposed to be gone. Now I have to finish this, so get out!
This is why you are distant from your family. You need to finish all this before some deadline. Tomorrow, if I recall correctly? There are a few flaws in your code.
Yes, which is why I need you gone, so you don't bother me, so I can get this done, so that I don't get fired. Get out of my house, and while you're at it, tell that family of mine to stay out of my way. I can't have any more disruptions. I have to spend every second I have left working on this. I do not care what they think.
Seeing Mr. Constantine throw up a finger before turning back to his work, Janus shakes his head, thinking to himself.
So unlike home. This kind of behavior would never have been tolerated in Edavahelium. To shun family like so. To be forced to shun family like so. There is something deeply wrong here. And yet, thanks to my studies under Master Clay, I can help. The first thing I need you to do is stand back. Take a deep breath. Let me handle this.
What, you think you can do my work better than me? My coworkers, my bosses can count on me, not you.
They'll never know otherwise. Now please, step aside.
Begrudgingly, Mr. Constantine does as he is told, pacing away and around his room.
This language, similar enough to what I am used to. And from what I can see, I can infer, or at least assume, the differences in standards. Hopefully this works. I owe it to Mr. Constantine to relieve him of his suffering.
Is there anything else you would like me to waste my time with? Or do you want me to just stand here until the deadline's up?
Go downstairs. Talk to your family. Assure them that you are alright.
Before all this is done? Before it's perfect? Are you crazy? I must be crazy. I don't have time for this.
Mr. Constantine rushes back towards the computer, just as Janus finishes entering a round of changes to the code.
Now, if I understand this correctly, you needed to add these little particle effects to the ground for this game. Only, if what I saw was correct, they were somehow acting as barriers, right?
Right. Which is something I have to fix if you would only let me.
But Janus starts fiddling with the controller, moving the on-screen avatar around calmly, without issue. Amazed, Mr. Constantine stares at the screen.
And now your figure is running about with ease. No more invisible barriers. The problem is solved.
I could have done that. Easy.
Yet what would have been the cost? More subjecting yourself to this practical torture? We would have arrived at the same solution to this problem. Yet I rather enjoyed it. These little lines of code tell me very much about your job, your standards, and your conventions. You, on the other hand, no. It is better this way. I admit, though, I understand a little of this still. Perhaps you could tell me more about it while I fix this code. For instance, explain this to me. In the distance, is that lava? Smoke?
I don't know. Is it? It took me months to animate. Why do you ask?
So you expect children to encounter a dystopia such as this one in real life?
Real life? What do you mean? This is a video game, Mr. Janus. It's meant for entertainment. It's not real.
So you play it in addition to making it?
Play it? Heavens no. This kind of game, quite frankly, is ridiculous to me. I mean, a cosmic horror survival video game where you run from some super robot named Clark? That's absurd, but it's my job, so whatever, I do it. Now tell me, at least you got the gear switching animation done right. If I was working on this, it would've...
It is taking a while. I can see how difficult this would feel after... How many days have you been working this hard?
Well... Oh, well, I couldn't say, really. You must be crazy. Absolutely crazy. This kind of work, no one wants to do it. But I have to. Same as all of my coworkers. It's the only way we're gonna get this out on time. And you're just doing it for me?
It is the least I can do. Give you some respite. Take a minute to breathe, Mr. Constantine. How do you feel?
What do you want with me? With my work? Hey, how do I know you're not some corporate spy sent here to sabotage me? Good lord, what will my colleagues think if I fail them? Now of all times.
Observe. A spy would be more careful. Purport to solve your issues, but waste your time instead. But you can see...
It works. The game works. And smoothly, too.
Thank you. I do still want to understand, though. This simulation is not meant to familiarize young ones with any semblance of reality. It is not meant for you to perform either. So what is the purpose of this?
We sell it to people. To the masses. What? Have you seriously never heard of a video game?
Assume that I haven't. How would you explain this kind of simulation? Fictional simulation?
Assume that you have... Okay, like I said, it's for entertainment. These games give people a break from reality. It's a kind of challenge that some of them are crazy enough to enjoy. People all over the globe will buy it and eat it up as soon as it ships. That's why I need to get this all done before the deadline tomorrow, and why I can't fail. There are literally millions of people counting on me, not least of which are my coworkers, my superiors. This has to be done on time, or else... Do you think you could hurry it up a bit? There's no way you're gonna finish at this rate. I could take over. I should take over.
You can't. I will handle it. So then it is ironic. Something meant to bring people a moment of relief from their struggles is itself burdening you beyond belief. Your wife told me that you requested not to be bothered, not even by your family. Seeing the work before you, I can sympathize somewhat. Yet I urge you to never lose sight of your family, Mr. Constantine.
I haven't lost.
Haven't you?
It was worth it. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't have, but I had to. I'll make it all up to them somehow, because if I don't get this done, in all likelihood, I will lose my job, and the respect of my peers. Not to mention the droves of angry gamers. I figure if you don't know what video games themselves are, you've never seen one of their players furious, or hordes of them, for that matter.
Fascinating. I cannot fathom why one needs these games for entertainment, let alone why one would get so angry over it when one another is all one needs. But tell me more about this game. You described it as cosmic horror survival? Like some absurdist work of literature?
Sure. If you want to talk about literature. Hurry it up, though. This fic shouldn't take more than a few minutes. Well, anyway, then games are kind of like literature in that there are different genres, different fans. Same very high expectations. For instance, for whatever reason, some people really like to be chased by a godlike machine. And if I don't deliver...
So what kind of people enjoy this game? Children? Adults? Who has time to spend on these?
Oh, I don't know, Janus. I think this one's meant for a little bit of an older audience. Look at the pits of lava, the hellish landscape, the cute little lambs impaled everywhere. But I guess kids like Kara and Ben could enjoy it too.
And your children are aware of what you do? How do they feel about their father being a video game maker?
Game developer, Janus. You really don't know anything. But no, they don't know. They think I do some boring office work. Only Claire knows the truth. If I told them I made video games, they'd get their hopes up and then they'd see what I actually do. They wouldn't understand a thing of this nonsense, so...
I understand. Tell you what, Mr. Constantine, step out of the room. I will handle the rest of this. Like I said, assure your wife that everything is okay, and then bring your kids up here. There's something I want to show them. And do not worry, I believe that I will be able to complete this all in time. Now go. I will handle this.
Are you sure? I should be doing this. Who's to say you won't mess up somewhere, doom my coworkers and myself in the one fell swoop?
I will take utmost care not to do that. My experience is not extensive, but I believe it will suffice nevertheless. Now, go. Be with your family for a few moments.
I know I shouldn't. I know I should just make sure this is all done right myself, and not owe anything to this delinquent. But he's done everything right so far. And seeing my family, talking to them, they'll be so happy, won't they? Alright, I'll do that.
In some respects, I'm merely righting a wrong, merely straightening out this unacceptable behavior. But it's so strange. Humans, spending all this time making and playing these games. Have they any thought for their families? Mr. Constantine, at least, is forced to neglect the other Constantines. What of the others? Mrs. Constantine, I can tell, cares deeply for her family, but without actions, is that empathy not meaningless? Ben spends his time with his figures. Kara, I barely understand. And what about other humans? If they do not value family and one another, as my people do, what truly matters the most to them?
Kara Constantine sits in her room, tossing the strange prism that Janus had given her about. In the last few hours, she's managed to solve 3 of the diamond-shaped signs, lining up all the colored faces. The others, however, remain jumbled, and she tries to map out paths to success in her head. If this had been a school project, she would have long ago taken a break. Stood up, gotten some water, cleared her head a bit, but this puzzle simultaneously frustrates and fascinates her, and she just can't let it go.
I really gotta find a way to beat this. I should have been done with it by now. It's just a Rubik's Cube with a few more faces and a few more steps, that's all. Now I could... Nah, that'd destroy everything I already have. But maybe it'll let me finish the rest of it. Alright, fine. I have nothing to lose. Sometimes you have to make a sacrifice like this.
Before she can change her mind, Kara flips around a few of the pieces, breaking up the faces she had already completed, then continues her work with doubled efforts. A flipped face here, a swapped chunk there, trying to get the faces' colors to line up right. It takes her a good while, perhaps 30 or 40 minutes, since she often had to backtrack. But eventually, the pieces start to fall into place. One after another, the faces align just right to solve one side and open a clear avenue to complete the next. With a satisfied grin, Kara switches the pieces into the right place, and before long, all she has to do is turn the triangular corners of the prism to complete it all. Blue, purple, white, green, brown, and black pieces all align on the puzzle, and Kara places it on her desk, before leaning back, taking a deep breath, and admiring her work.
Well, that shouldn't have taken me nearly as long as it did, but it was a fun challenge. I should mix this up and try it again and get it down to a science. Now there's a challenge. I guess I should go...
Suddenly, the top piece of the prism shoots up, soaring through the air and dropping to the ground just in front of Kara. She picks up the little piece, staring at it curiously, before an indigo light bursts from the top of the prism and illuminates her darkened room. As Kara approaches the prism, the light swirls and coalesces into... a face?
What is this?
Greetings, Kara Constantine. My congratulations for solving the puzzle.
What are you?
My name is Montrese, although you may call me Mont in abbreviation. I am an artificial intelligence assistant here to provide you with any analysis or information that you may need. Are there any questions you would like answered?
Whoa, explain this. How are you here? Like, where are you coming from?
My program, you might say, my consciousness, is locked within your prism. I am appearing to you holographically from a projector at the top of your puzzle, and speaking through a voice synthesizer in the same.
But your hologram is so strong? It's so bright, and your voice is so clear. How? It's all coming from inside the prism?
That is correct. If you wish to deactivate me, All you have to do is replace the ejected part, and I will shut down at once. The prism will re-scramble itself for security.
And then what? Will I have to solve the prism again to reactivate you?
As I have been told, the prism was meant as a way to challenge you, to see if you were worthy of possessing my guidance. You passed once before. Surely it will not be too difficult for you to pass again.
And who told you that? Who made you? Was it Janus?
I suppose that would be a logical abbreviation of his name. I know him as Jaru Nui Sol. In our language, it means peace by light of the moon, just as my name, Montrese, means aid to the most worthy. Roughly speaking, of course. Your language and mine do not have perfect translations between one another.
Your language.
Of course, English is not Jaru Nui Sol's first language, nor is it mine. I am, as I suspect he is, doing my best to synthesize your speech in a comprehensible manner. I apologize if my pronunciation is not perfect.
It's fine. So what? If I ask you a question, you'll answer?
Of course. That is what I'm here for.
Where do you get the answers from?
I have access to your internet and the knowledge that Janus, as you called him, programmed me with. Furthermore, I learn from my surroundings. For instance, I can tell that you, Kara Constantine, are one curious, tenacious little human. And Janus did not tell me that. Are there any other questions?
All the things one could help with. All the problems a program of this intelligence would solve. There's so much I can do. But there's one question that I have to know the answer to first. One problem that I can't continue without solving. More than anything else, I have to know.
Who or what is Janus?
Who is Janus?